Hey guys, glad you stopped by. I was just getting ready to make breakfast for dessert. I know, right? And today we're going to make Dutch babies, which are similar to a German pancake, but more closely related to something I can't pronounce that's Austrian. They were first created in the early 1900s at McCanna's Cafe, and they were originally called Deutsche pancakes, but his youngest daughter pronounced it as Dutch, and it just kind of stuck. Now, I had read a lot of things that said it was basically a German pancake, but then I read an article that said that the Germans don't really eat this style of pancake, and they're not really commonly made over in Germany. It's closely related to something that's in Austria, or the other place was sorry, I've got the article pulled up, or a Finnish style pancake that are both thicker and more Yorkshire pudding like than what an actual German pancake is. But these are kind of cool because we're going to mix the batter together. We're going to kind of quickly fry up some blueberries, and then we'll pour the batter over top of the blueberries, and we're going to stick it in the oven for a few, and then when it comes out, we should have this puffy, beautiful looking out of a skillet pancake that there's nothing really babyish about it. It's in a 10-inch skillet, so that's pretty good size. Now, I think this is going to be amazing. It's something completely different, and why not? We could serve it with whipped topping on it. We could put maple syrup on it. We could put powdered sugar. I mean, there's a million and one things that make this more like a dessert and a fair food than a traditional pancake, so to speak. But anyhow, I think it's gonna be amazing. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Glad you stopped by. Hope you get something out of this video. Maybe take the opportunity to check out some of the other videos. If you're returning or a new subscriber, thank you. Welcome back. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. That keeps us out in the algorithm, keeps our neighborhood turning into a village, which we're getting there. It's slowly but surely. I'm not going anywhere. I really like doing what I do. And if you are new, this is your first video, my intros can be kind of long. My videos are, for people who are maybe doing this for the first time, or are just learning how to bake or cook or garden or do anything food related. And it also on occasion showcases my family. You're exploring my life through food, and in the process we're communicating, we're learning things, we're doing all kinds of cool stuff. But that being said, comments always welcome. Just be nice. You can disagree with me, with somebody in the comments. That's fine. That's perfectly acceptable. Just think before you type and be polite. So that being said, why don't we head on down to the counter? I will give you all your measurements in cups, tablespoons, teaspoons. We also do grams and milliliters, so that way everybody can play along when we bake. So hold on for me 1 second and I'll see you at the counter. All right, we are down here at the counter. So things you will need to make this with. I have a scale sitting out, and this will be probably one of the few times in baking that we don't have to be precise, and you don't really need a scale, although they come in handy. I have mine out because I had to be able to switch over a couple of things from cups to grams and didn't know. Like, for example, the blueberries. I had no idea what the 3/4 cup blueberry is, but if you have one, I highly recommend you use it. All the same. So let's get that out of the way. The other things you will need for this is at least one bowl for your dry goods. Well, dry and wet, because literally we're just going to dump it all in the bowl. And then you'll need a skillet that is oven safe, or if you have a cast iron, but you're going to need a 10-inch skillet all the same. I have this lovely, it's actually a pie pan, but it's 10-inch. Closer to 9 at the bottom, I'm sure, 9.5, but it's 10-inch at the top. and I think that'll work. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on this bit of a project. The first thing I did was I zested a lemon, one medium-sized lemon, and after we got it zested in this big old bowl, we are going to add, let me grab the recipe real quick. Oh, duh, it's right here. For the first time ever, I didn't write it down in the notebook. I actually put it on a card, which is what I used to do way back when the recipes weren't so complex. But we got our medium lemon, we got it zested. Next thing we're gonna add to that is 2 tablespoons, 30 grams of just plain old granulated sugar. Now what we're gonna do now is we're going to mix that up. All right, I'm just gonna use our fingers, and we're gonna kind of smush the lemon zest into the sugar. That accomplishes a couple things. First, the zest is where all the oil is for the lemon and the sweetness, and you know, it gives it its flavor, so to speak, in baking. So we want to get that crushed into the sugar, so that way it activates that oil into the sugar. Plus, by putting it into the sugar, it doesn't clump up. You know, now it's separated, it's clinging to the sugar, and we won't have like huge clumps of lemon zest in our batter. So now that we've got that in there, I'm going to take 3 large eggs, 150 grams. I'm gonna grab a fork real quick because I didn't grab one beforehand, and I'm just gonna break these eggs to kind of give them a head start with putting all this together. So we got that put together just like so. I mean, we're gonna let this batter sit for a minute, so it'll be okay. But we're gonna take our 3 large eggs that have just been broken. We're gonna throw those in there. That's 150 grams, if anybody's keeping track. And they are room temperature. Next thing I've got is a half a cup of milk, 125 milliliters, and it is also room temperature. We're gonna put that in. Then we are going to add some vanilla. It is 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 4 grams. Go ahead and get that put in there. And you know, not that I'm sponsored by anybody ever, but I have found that the best vanilla I think I have ever used, and I've used it for years now, is Watkins. I just finished up a bottle of McCormick. I bought it on sale, and it's okay. McCormick makes lots of great products, but I don't think their pure vanilla is as good as, you know, most. But anyhow, enough of that. Next thing, 1 gram, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm using kosher salt. Yeah, but if you don't have kosher salt, it's okay. You know, there's no rule that says you have to use kosher salt. Get the last of that sugar out of there. And then we are going to grab a whisk real quick that I didn't grab before and get this whisked up. All right, we got this whisked up. Now that I went and got a whisk, I wasn't very prepared, was I? One thing I did forget to mention. Before we started putting everything together, I set my oven at 450 degrees, and I made sure that one of my racks was in the middle of the oven. If you are new to my channel, I am absolutely horrible about remembering in the beginning to tell you to turn your oven on. But very first step, oven, 450 degrees. That way it's warming up and it cycles a couple times. So we got this mixed up. Next thing we need to throw into this is some flour. And I've got a half a cup, 60 grams of flour. That's just regular old all-purpose flour. And we will go ahead and we're going to whisk this until it's smooth. Okay, so we've got our batter nice and smooth, just like we need it. So now we can set this aside for a moment. Let me make some room here. There is that. So the next thing we need to do is we're going to turn our stovetop on. And we want a nice medium heat, and we are going to get 3 tablespoons, which is really 45? No, 38, 42, 43 grams of butter. Let's say 45. Each tablespoon is 14 grams. But we got 3 tablespoons, 43 grams of butter. 43 grams of butter. And we are going to go ahead and get this melted. Our butter is melted. Looking good. Now, all we're going to do is take these blueberries. I got 3/4 cup or 110 grams of fresh blueberries. You can use frozen also. If you do use frozen, and I can't believe I'm saying this, don't thaw it out. And what we're going to do, we're going to put these in here, and we're going to actually cook these until they start to swell and open up. Yeah, we want them to, that way we got that blueberry flavor in there. We know they're good. So it's going to take about a minute, maybe 3 minutes, and then we can, we're almost done. Okay, so we started to burst open. See if I can get one out of here to show you. Just like that. See how the top is popped off? So they're breaking open. We've got juices flowing everywhere. So now we just turn off our heat. Move this to the side. Throw a towel down here so that way I can set it down without tearing up the counter, right? And we want to make sure they're in a nice even layer, you know, across the top. Nobody's standing on top of each other. And then all we have left to do is pour our batter over the top. Okay, got our batter in there. So all we have left to do now is throw in the oven at 450 degrees per quoted earlier. And we're gonna let this bake for, the recipe called 12 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna lean more towards 15, but I'll check it starting at 12. What are we looking for? So we are looking for it to be poofy around the edges. You know, it's gonna puff up around the edges, and we want the center to be set because the center is gonna be close to a custard, but a little denser. Which is traditional for, you know, this type of pancake, you know. So when I come back, we will take a look at it, see what we got, and hopefully try a piece. See you here in a second. Okay, so the timer's going off. I checked it at 12 minutes and we weren't quite there yet, but we were close and we are there. We are set and ready to go. Look at that bad boy. Woo! That is one heck of a pancake. If I do say so myself. That is crazy. I love it. So we can let it sit here for a minute before we take it out of the pan, so to speak. I'm gonna try to get it out of the pan. It may not come out of the pan. I don't know what the proper etiquette is for this particular dish, other than I know right now it's so hot that it will melt your face, and it does say serve immediately. So serve immediately to me means we've set it on the counter. We've got a majority of the stuff on the table already, and we got to bring it out there. And by the time it's served, it's actually sat for a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna let it set for a couple minutes, and when I come back, we will try some. Hold on for me 1 second. Okay, I got it out of the pan. As soon as it didn't really stick because of the butter, and my cast iron just doesn't stick. And not to brag, but so I just went ahead and slid it onto a plate. That way I didn't have to stand here and hold an incredibly hot cast iron to give you guys a close-up of what we are looking at, and that looks absolutely fantastic. So now I can tell you it's very egg-like. It is definitely, you know, kind of a custard, kind of a, you know, I don't know how to describe it. Very pancake meets custard. I think it's gonna be good. Like I said, I don't know. I've never tried this before. Chris has been on me though to make a German pancake forever, and I ran across this and I was like, what do you think about this? And she said, let's try it. So we'll go ahead and get a piece cut off there, and we'll set that off to the side. There we are, and it dropped like a rock, you know, really quick. You know, the poofiness even on the edges died down, even before I even got anything underneath of it to bring it out of the pan. So, and I suppose you could just serve that in the pan. I mean, why not? I know it looks good. I know it's really simple to make. It smells fantastic. And these were really simple to make, so as long as they taste amazing, you could probably make up you know, half a dozen of these, or at least 2 or 3 of them, and serve a crowd pretty decent. So let's see what they taste like plain. Yeah, that's kind of my thing anyhow. I want to taste it without the extras on it. See how it tastes. That's interesting. I like it. I could see where syrup or a whipped topping or powdered sugar would definitely go with this. It does have a custardy taste to it. You know, it's definitely on the palate, but not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, I think powdered sugar, maple syrup, or whipped topping on this, and you'd have a meal, you'd have a dessert, you'd have all of the above. And I'm gonna quit eating this before I eat the whole thing right in front of you. And I'm definitely gonna have a second slice. Yeah, hold on for me 1 second. I'm gonna go get the maple syrup and see how it tastes. Hold on. Okay, I went and got some maple syrup, and I'll put some powdered sugar on my next piece and leave you a thing down in the description, but really I'm curious with the maple syrup. That sends it over the top. I mean, really, because you got that blueberry. You don't need a lot of syrup. Not by any means, at all. But that really takes it to that next level. Give this a try. That is really good. I could see where just about anything would go good on that. And like I said, not hard to make. That took more time in the oven than it did anything else. And but you won't be disappointed. No, that is good, quick, easy. A couple of those may feed a troop. You know, put it with some toast and some bacon, and you have got one heck of a breakfast for dinner. Serve that with some whipped topping and maybe a little powdered sugar. You've got an amazing dessert. You could probably switch the blueberries out for blackberries, raspberries, strawberries diced up. You know, really the possibilities are endless with this. That's pretty awesome stuff. So, if you do give this a try, let me know. Or maybe if you have a recipe of your own that, you know, you try, let us know about it. You know, about, hey, you know, I do something similar to that, but we do blah, blah, blah. That would be awesome. Either way. So, that being said, this Saturday, got another canning video coming out. I've just been on a canning kick lately, and why not bring you guys along? It's fun. And this week, like I believe I mentioned to last week, or maybe even earlier this week, we're doing mandarin oranges. They are just the funnest, easiest, I mean, so simple to can and process thing out there. It's literally oranges, water, and sugar. And you water bath it for 15 minutes and they're done. 10 minutes, and they're done. That's it. And then you got oranges for an entire year. But if that's something that, you know, you've been thinking, you know, do I get into, you know, canning maybe? Would it be viable for me? You know, I'm looking to grow a garden. What do I do with all this stuff? You know, this gives you an option, especially with gardening or buying fruit when it's on sale, or hitting the farmers markets up and buying fruit that is, not as expensive because you're buying it in a larger quantity, or able to buy it in a larger quantity because it's not so expensive. It is something you can do with those fruits, those vegetables. One of the things. The other thing could be invite a neighbor over, make a friend, take somebody, some fruit or vegetables to work. But anyhow, this Saturday we're going to be canning up some oranges. I really hope you stop by. It's going to be some fun. Like I said, easy project. And I'm probably going to do a canning video every Saturday for a good little while now, just because there's so much stuff to start processing with spring around the corner and fruit coming into season. There's pie fillings that can be made, other jams. That's always fun. And then next thing you know, we're going to have late summer fall crops with vegetables, and although I've got tomato sauce, but green beans, hot peppers, relishes, just all kinds of stuff. But anyhow, till Saturday when we are going to process some oranges, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else that you love them. Now you love them very much. It's going to make them feel better. They may need to hear it. It's going to make you smile a little and make you feel good on the inside to tell them. And if you make them one of these blueberry and lemon Dutch babies, you are going to get a smile from ear to ear from them, and probably a bit of conversation. So, till Saturday, I love you, and I'll see you then. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.